Good morning, Libby. There's my Dracaena after I trimmed it all off this past spring in my other video where it was all trimmed down, but you can see how big it's gotten. It's well over 7 feet tall again, but all these all the new shoots that are coming off of it after I trimmed it, it'll be 8 feet tall, 9 feet tall again by the time it comes inside. That pot is I think it's 30 inches, a 30-inch pot. It's 30 inches across, maybe something like that at least. It's heavy. Anyway, oh yeah, I wanted to, I had so many great suggestions and comments on my cactus. I have upped the fertilizer on this for those that were watching this, and it's got a much better color. It still has not bloomed, almost 30 years, and I still don't have blooms on it. And I know it's big enough. It's a big girl, but there's something going on because I'm getting some little growths and spots and bumps and stuff on it that I've never seen before. So I'm hoping it's getting ready to bloom on me or start pushing out blooms, but we'll see. We'll see. It's in soil. I hate soil. I wish I could grow it in hydroponics, but I can't. But anyway, just showing a few plants today, and this is my one and only Cymbidium. It gets a lot of sun, and it is a little bit pale because of the sun, but it's produced several growths this year. This one isn't finished, but it's produced a couple of growths. But it's got a lot of, I noticed it's got a lot of buds coming out. I'm not sure if they're new shoots. They're coming out all over the place. I mean, there must be about 6 or 7 of them. I don't know if those are blooms or what. I'm not familiar with these at all. I watched a great video on Lana's channel last night. And she was talking about Cymbidiums and gave so much information. Anyway, I'm just going to watch it, and it gets fertilized pretty heavy. Giving it lots and lots of water. It doesn't seem to be doing anything but just growing real well. So, and it's a pretty good size. This is definitely not I guess a miniature or smaller one. I have no idea what color it is or anything. It was again, it was one of the dead plants on a sale rack I got for a couple of dollars. So brought it home, and it's planted in lava rock and a little bit of gravel, and I think there might be a few pieces of miscellaneous bark or chunks of wood thrown down in there too with it. But other than that, that's about it. And I don't know. Let me see. Some phals. All the phals that I have grow in gravel or rock or lava rock. I love to use this medium because one, the plants just take to it very, very easily, very readily. They wrap their roots around the pots just over and over and over. I don't think I've had a single plant that's rejected the rock or rejected the stone or gravel. And the great part about this is I can take this entire plant and dunk it under water. The whole plant, flush it, the entire plant completely, just flush it over. Here's another one. That one right there is the one that's in bloom. We're starting to fade. Some of the flowers on the back are starting to fade, but still a pretty. This beautiful white one, which you can see the spots. It's starting to deteriorate a little bit. But again, lots and lots of root growth. They just come out and they just grab. The roots just keep coming out. They grab the pots, they grab the gravel. They just go crazy. Here's another small one, but you can see the roots. That's another small one. I try and let them naturally lean over. As you can see, this plant, it wants to lean over. Oh, this one hangs. This one I think is actually, I had a holder for this. Yeah, there's a wire back there for this one. So this one hangs like that, but I prefer them to keep the natural position like that. The rainwater just runs right off the front of them, the top of them. When they get rained on, it doesn't seem to bother them at all. And as you can tell, they love the gravel and rock. There's another big girl. This is the one I've been trying to keep the spikes on this one, so I have upped the phosphorus on this. Again, I'm still new to orchids a little bit, not new to growing, but new to orchids, so I have upped the phosphorus on this one. And I did that by pushing the pH up a little bit to isolate it. And it's kept all its tips, and they actually seem to be growing and coming out a little bit better. So I don't think I'm going to lose that. But I noticed this morning when I was out here looking, this plant has a ton of roots, but spike got another spike coming out. So I think by upping the phosphorus, what I've done was, one, we kept the spike that originally the plant had, but it has enough excess now that it's able to produce a second one. So and we're getting a lot of root growth, which is another good sign of proper phosphorus nutrition. And look at the color, beautiful, beautiful color, and nice big growths. Here's the latest leaf. I mean, it's a whole lot bigger than any of the other previous growths, so it doesn't get that without proper nutrition. So I'm real happy with that one too. This is another one. This is one of the first phals I ever got, and I'm real happy with this one. The fact that the spike is continuing, it started blooming again, and it's branching off now and continuing. This one's in lava rock, and as you can tell, I mean, they just go crazy. And again, the great part about this is I can just dunk the entire plant. Flush them, wash them off, clean them off. I can't do that with bark. I can't do that with moss. And bark is great. Moss is great to grow in. This is just my preferred method. But it's real easy to keep them flushed that way. This is a forever home. I don't ever have to worry about repotting this. If it ever was to outgrow this pot, which I doubt it would, I just set it back into another pot with a little bit of rock around it. It'll just grow back into that one too. So, oh wow, I just noticed that. One of our frogs has moved into that phal, so we're going to leave that one alone. Although that is a really great phal. It has an incredible amount of root system, and apparently frogs like it. But the spikes on this one, because I've upped the phosphorus on this one a little bit, this one has massive growth coming out on the spikes. Really greening up, the tips are spreading out, and just seems to be going. So I don't know, either it could be the frog it's keeping it happy. So we're just going to take this one and just we're going to hang this one right back up here and let her go back to sleep. There we go. All right, sorry about that. Here's one of the little minis. This one's called Green Pixie. I don't know if you can see the roots, but they really, really, really seem to like gravel. I had never grown in gravel before, but having grown in hydroponics, I mean, I know it's possible to grow in anything. The gravel doesn't serve any purpose other than just to anchor the roots. I mean, that's all that any plant being potted is. It's just being anchored. In soil, they have to have it to break down all the nutrients and stuff. But in hydroponics, it's basically just an anchor. You can grow a plant in, like I've said before, Legos. It's just something to anchor the plant. So don't get hung up on gravel or bark or moss or anything else. It's just a product being used. It's more about learning how to grow in that product and what it takes to grow in it. Let me see a couple more here. This is another one. This one's called Changlint, Phaltizu Changlint. Something a bit on the top of it right there, but nice healthy little plant. Lots of roots coming out, spreading over the pot. A lot of roots going down into it too. And this is another one. I didn't want to lose the spikes on this, so I've been pumping up the pea on it a little bit, and I'm getting a little bit of growth on it finally. And it had just finished up blooming, but it's coming back. So I'm thinking that's what's happening with a lot of these is they get so low on pea that it affects the root growth. They can't get proper root growth because they're so low on phosphorus from all the blooms. And that's what they are. They're pumped to bloom. They're artificially stimulated to bloom. So I think by doing that, it may kind of help some of the deficiencies that they come with. I'm still learning. This is more research than anything, I guess. It all sounds really strange, I know, to a lot of people, but it's more about experimentation and everything. This one is another one of the little minis, and I love the position. This is the one with the keiki that I've decided to leave, and keiki is growing very rapidly. We're giving this one some extra feed to compensate for that. I don't want the mother to get drugged down, but I'm watching that leaf there, which I just pulled a little tiny caterpillar off of. So I don't know if the leaf is, if that leaf doesn't continue to grow or starts to act like it's stunted, then that baby's going to have to come off. But I've upped the feed a little bit to hopefully compensate for that. Another one, just lots and lots of root growth. And we'll show one more since it's sitting here. This is another really nice little phal, beautiful growth. You can see the roots coming out. I mean, they just seem to just go crazy in this. Um, anyway, just a few of them. That's some of the phals. There's a handful more hanging up here on the rack. I just wanted to show a few of them this morning. I don't want to make it too long, bore everybody, but and yep, they're in gravel, lava rock, and river rock, but they seem to adapt to it, and they seem to grow well in my conditions with it. So anyway, get out in your garden and grow, and have a great, great day. Thanks for watching.